This is the story of a Thanksgiving that I know I will never forget. So, each year on Thanksgiving, my large family, full of aunts, uncles, cousins, children, grandchildren, everyone, travels from all over the country to celebrate together in Michigan. We make a ton of food, we all drink a ton of wine, and all of us talk very loudly at the same time. It's sort of chaos. I've had this huge family dinner for every Thanksgiving since I was born. It's our tradition, and it can be fairly predictable. It always has been. Except for one Thanksgiving a few years ago. That was the year that two women and their small little dog drove their car into a nearby lake. Here's what happened. We were having a nice Thanksgiving dinner at my grandma's retirement home. Now, when I say retirement home, I don't mean the usual place that you would probably think of. I mean this white mansion with a grand staircase and a glass chandelier that my grandma happened to live in with her husband. You wouldn't think that this was a retirement home just by looking at it from the outside. I mean, this place was nice. It was huge. Anyways, so this year, we were just finishing dinner when my dad, my younger brother, and I all decided to play cards in the lobby. We were getting pretty into a game of Go Fish, and I, of course, was winning. But we noticed that a large group of people in the lobby started running toward a nearby window, and they all looked pretty worried. They all started to run outside, and we decided to follow them. As soon as we stepped out the door, we noticed a small silver car half submerged in the lake next to the parking lot. When we got a little closer, we heard someone from the other group of people yelling that there were two elderly women in the car and a small dog, and they were having trouble trying to get out. That's when things started to get really serious. The car was slowly but surely sinking, and the women inside weren't able to pry the doors open because of the pressure of the water. My brother and I sprinted inside to tell the rest of our family. When we tried explaining what happened, many of them, especially my uncles, started laughing at us. They thought that we were playing some kind of joke on them, and they refused to come to look at it. It took quite a bit of convincing on our part to actually persuade them to follow us outside. I will never forget the look on my uncles' faces when they finally stepped outside and saw that there was, in fact, a car in the lake. The next thing I know, two of my uncles tear off their shirts and jump straight in the water. With the help of a few other men from the other family standing outside, they managed to get the windows of the car open. The first thing out was this tiny, wet dog. That was the most scared-looking dog I've ever seen in my life. One of the men swam the poor dog to shore, while the others worked to pull the two elderly women out through the car window. This was no easy task, but eventually all of them were on their way back to dry land. Once safely on shore, the two women and their little wet dog were greeted with relieved looks and dry towels. Luckily, no one was hurt during this disaster. The women were embarrassed, but they were safe, and their little dog was a little shaken up, but back to normal soon enough. I must say that this is definitely a Thanksgiving that I will never forget. And it is a story that I know I will be telling for years to come.